Welcome to the Hunt Test Hobo Podcast, your place for truckside chats and insights into the retriever game. Whether you're just getting started or you're a seasoned handler, this podcast is another resource for tips, tricks, and insights from both the amateurs and professional trainers' perspectives. Each week, we'll dive into the nitty-gritty of retriever training, sharing stories of success, overcoming challenges, and forging stronger bonds with our dogs. This is the Hunt Test Hobo Podcast. I'm Chris Rud, your host, fellow retriever enthusiast, and student of the game. Let's dive in. Welcome to another episode of the Hunt Test Hobo Podcast. Hope everybody's having a fantastic week. It has been an interesting week here in Illinois. It went from like 75 degrees down to like 30 degrees. And then today was like 50 degrees-ish, but with 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts. And I went and trained today with one dog and drove an hour and 20 minutes. You know, they're not just there, but there and back. And my wingers kept blowing over. So that was fun. Yeah, so welcome, Tyler. I'm going to do sponsors in a second, but I just have to tell you, I went back, or our guest today is Tyler Brenner, my good friend, obviously, who's been on the podcast many times. But Tyler, I told Tyler, I'm like, hey, man, I'm running late to do this podcast, primarily because I just went to train, and it was an experience. I train by myself quite a bit, but this has been like a long stretch of it because if Bill left me to go to Texas to train with Sharon. Josh, I guess it's septic season, or what stuff Josh does season. And he hasn't been able to train. On top of that, I can't drive on any of the properties that I normally drive to train with the ATV because we got like 4 inches of rain in the last 72 hours. And we had some, I guess the hail we had, it didn't hit us, but like maybe 20 miles west of us was like ping pong size hail. That's pretty legit. That's like not good, but can you imagine your truck getting hit with a ping pong ball of ice?
I saw some vehicles that got totaled.
Oh my goodness.
They looked like the tornado hit them, and it was really just the places where there was hail.
Yeah.
And then another friend of mine was telling me that their dad's company went and bought like 5 new trucks.
Oh no.
Like right off the lot. They just got like detailed and all of their emblems put on them, and they just got decimated
that sucks.
By the storm.
That's the worst. Anyway,
well, I just had my own first insurance claim on a vehicle.
Oh yeah,
and just that was like a pain in the butt.
Yeah, especially when it's your neighbor and they backed into you, but you can't.
Long
prove
story
it.
short, yeah, I had a hit and run in my alley on my truck, and just a pain.
Did you get it all fixed up?
A lot of people have been through that, and it's not fun. Yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
It's great because the whole bedside was actually scratched from the dogs.
The dog getting in your
topper.
Works out
so I'm
good.
like, maybe he could back into the other bedside too.
Just start parking the other way. Come in the alley the other way and just wait for him to do it.
But yeah, maybe that's my sign. I need to move. My wife would love to move out into the country. So
yeah, another friend of ours who shall not be named here texted me that he's buying a property, and he said, hey, do you think I can do a tech pond here? And I was like, dude, that's legit. I'll have to tell you afterwards because I don't know. He's been on the podcast. He can choose to say if he wants to talk about it. But anyway, it's legit, and I'm pretty excited for him. And when another amateur has enough money to buy property to train on, I'm like, kudos to you, bro. You figured it out. I'm out here slumping. I've been in full on hobo mode. I did buy an e-bike this year because I was like, this has got to be better than what I'm doing. Unfortunately, the e-bike that I bought, the motor blew onto the thing after 12 times of dragging 5 or 6 wingers on a sled. So I learned that lesson, that this particular model doesn't work. But a buddy that I hunt with, he has a another e-bike that's bigger, and I borrowed his, and that one's been working great. The e-bike company that I bought mine from, it's warranted for a year. So I said, hey, this is, I sent them a video. They sent me a motor. I replaced it. It was like 2.5 hours of me replacing this stupid motor. And guess what? It was a bad motor. It's a bad motor.
No.
The same thing. And I was so mad. I was like, I had to buy bikes aren't complicated, but it's it's not a 10-speed. It's like a 7-speeder. I don't know. It's got shifters in the back, right? And I had to get a special wrench and crap to take the sprockets off and do everything. And I got to order it on Amazon. You
completely educated yourself on this entire situation, and then it didn't work.
It didn't work, and I was like,
I would have raged. I would have rage quit. I would have broke the bike.
I didn't. I was very good. I kept my. But then I can't remember who it was, but a listener texted me. It's like, hey, should I get this bike? I was like, here's what's happened to it. So. Think for yourself on this one. Make your own decision. Yeah.
Back to what you were saying, though, about you've been hoboing it. Have you told everyone about how you've been kicked out of all these places this year?
So I went I hoboed for, when we say hobo, if you haven't listened enough yet, it's when I go to parks and other places and I just train. I don't use an ATV or anything. I just go and train. Well, there's this one place that's actually closer to where I moved to that I haven't trained at in a while, and it's a forest preserve. So there's there's rules. Dog got to be on leashes and blah, blah, blah. All those things that we choose to honor with e-collars. And
it's a wireless collar.
It's a wireless leash. Wireless leash. Anyhow, and Bill has been following me around, training with me at these places, And Bill's an attorney. He's a retired attorney. He's from the city of Chicago-ish. He's but he's just one of us. He's great. But he's retired. Doesn't need any problems in his life. And I'll back up though. So
here's Chris dragging him into trouble.
Yes, but. I feel like we're not talking about dog training enough, but this is commiserating about how hard it is to train as an amateur. But before we do that, Bill and I and my cousin were hunting a field very close, actually, to where this place is. And I've hunted this field forever. It's part of our club. We've had a lease on it for 7 or 8 years. We've been hunting it. Well, we're in an A-frame on the edge of this cornfield, and we're doing pretty well. We've killed all maybe it was 4 of us. I can't remember. But we needed 1 or 2 birds to finish our limit. And all of a sudden we hear out of the corner of our eye, our corner of our peripheral is, don't shoot, don't shoot. And there were birds working, man. And I said, shoot them. So we come up and we blast all these birds. I shouldn't say.
You thought it was a Karen. You just anticipated a Karen.
Yeah. And there's subdivisions around. We're totally legal. It's all been great. And we killed 1 bird, and I think we needed 2 more after this. So this whole scenario happens, and my cousin stands up. He goes, "Hey, those are cops." We're like, "Oh shoot!" And so then we put our guns. We leave our guns in the A-frame, and we walk out. It's raining. It's raining, and these cops are walking out in tennis shoes into this field, this half-tilled cornfield, and they come out. They're like, "Hey, we've got some complaints," and I'm like, "Well, this is what we're doing. We're all legal." And he said, "Well, 2 months ago there was a zoning change, and this property is now owned by." Or zoned by the this township the town next to us instead of the town we've been in. I'm like, I've been hunting this forever. She said, well, are you guys a hunt club? And we're like, well, yeah, technically, I guess we are, because it's a club. And then he's like, oh crap. So then he didn't know what to do because I guess with the zoning, if it's a gun club, you can hunt or you can shoot your guns in the city grounds. So then they're like not sure what to do. They're like, just finish hunting and leave. Well, he took all our numbers and all that stuff. And then he called us later. He's like, yeah, you guys can't hunt there anymore. So we got kicked out of that place. So, which was fine. Crap happens. It's the way of the world. We're just going to eventually.
Urban sprawls just
gonna,
overtaking every field Chris Rudd hunts.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, I mean, I'm hunting in people's backyards a lot of times.
Between Chris and flooded corn, the birds are never going to push south ever again.
I have a theory. I have no idea if it's really flooded corn that's causing this. I do have some theories, which I think I've said some of them on the podcast of why birds don't go. But we had more ducks this year than we've ever had. And we have no flooded corn, as far as I know, anywhere.
Did you have them when you could shoot them?
Yes, we killed. You
did shoot quite a bit of ducks.
We shot a ton of ducks this year. This was the best. Like I said this in another podcast. This was the best bird per average hunting season I've ever had. I didn't hunt a crazy amount because we did have some times where it was the weather was just completely stale and stuff. But okay, the whole point about getting kicked out. So Bill and I get kicked out of this place. We don't see each other because we're not really training in the middle of February with snow on the ground. Well, I invite Bill out to this place that I've went for years and years and years training at this forest preserve. You never see anybody around. All right. So I'm we're doing it all up. I'm all pumped up. We're going to do everything. So I pull up with my trailer, which is not, that's probably the problem is now I have a dog trailer. and so people are like, what is that big contraption versus a guy that's just got a topper or whatever. But anyway, we get out there, we get all of our wingers set up, and we're going to use birds today, right? Of course, right?
Oh, yeah.
so literally we get everything set up, and then the forest preserve people who I've never seen here ever pull up to clean the outhouse. And so we got a sled and stuff, and I wave at them because that's what you're supposed to do when you are thinking you're going to get kicked out of something. Nothing suspicious here. So I wave at them, they wave back, and oh yeah. And now I have one dog right now that I'm really training. I train the one dog. I leave. Bill's like, I'm going to run some blinds. Next thing I know, I get a text from Bill. Yep, the cop showed up, and they want you to call this number. I'm like, crap, here we go again. And they basically go, well, you can train here, but your dog has to be on a leash, and you need a certificate of liability. I'm like, I'm not getting insurance to train at the forest preserve, especially if I can't if I have to have a dog on a leash. Oh, and they said I can't use the sled on the back of the e-bike. The e-bike is fine, but the sled is not because it hurts their flowers in the middle of a bunch of CRP garbage that they're going to burn.
How many people have you ever seen when you're there?
There's the same 3 people that walk the path. Every day. It's the chances of me running into these people was slim to none. And Josh is all bent out of shape. Well, he's not really mad, but he's like, oh, there goes another one. Because that we train there forever. And it's the most grandy lands place that we have here. It's awesome. But it's gone forever now. So maybe I'll wait 6 years. Because nobody works at forest preserves that long, right? They'll all forget.
They just hop around from place to place.
They just leave, right? So I'll probably get.
You can weasel your way back in. I think if you're really smart, you find out whatever outfit they wear, the employees, and you put that on, or you go with I
should get a big sign.
Colors. No, you get a yellow hard hat and a blaze orange vest, like you're some sort of surveyor.
Oh, I forgot to say the best part about the whole story. The cop shows up and he goes to Bill. He's like, where's all the people? Bill's like, what are you talking about? It's just me. They're like, no, there's a bunch of people dog training here. And Bill's like, well, no, it was just my friend Chris and I. We had 3 stickmen out in the field, standing out there. And the guy, the forest preserve people thought they were a bunch of people out there.
That's a good stick, man.
That's a good sticker. And it's Danny Farmer approved because I saw a picture that Lisa posted of some ducks, but really, more important, some geese or something in their thing. If you go check it out on Facebook. But it was the same stickman as I have. And Clark Kennington can shove it because it's awesome. It's a great stickman. He goes, I got all my hobo stickman crap that I've made, and I finally invest in some 2 good stickmen. And he's calls them the Jolly Green Giants. I'm like, come on, bro. Anyway.
That's like if I was out there throwing birds for you.
Yeah, it's just him. He's a little wider than you.
Wider in the frame.
He's pretty wide. Yeah, the dogs can see him. Wow, this is the longest intro to get the sponsors that I've ever done. And I hope that
they're going to be upset. They might drop you.
I don't know if the partners would drop me. I'm just worried about the audience. They're probably get to some stuff that we can learn. I'm sorry. Anyway, Okay, the last thing before I do the intros, and then we really got to start doing something that's like educational or something here.
This is.
It is. It's commiserating with the amateur out there. So, like I said, it's 50 miles an hour wind. It's been like freezing cold. And on the forecast, it's going to go from like 60 tomorrow and then 50 on Sunday. But Monday, it's going to go down to 8 degrees. That's not like supposed to happen. And I'm like, no.
Yeah. I'm like, you both.
I'm like, I'm not a pro. I ain't trading that crap. I mean, I'm not. I'll do puppy stuff at the backyard, but I'm not driving somewhere. So I'm like, I gotta go train the next 2 days. Like, I gotta do it. So, and I got one dog. A little plug. Winter is definitely pregnant. She's starting to sag pretty good. You know what I mean. And she's definitely pregnant. So if you are looking for a Floyd Winter puppy, I have one male deposit left. Not you.
I was going to say, I'm surprised that you even have any availability.
Well, there's been a few tire kickers, and
it's a big investment.
It's not. Trust me, I know it's a big investment. Like,
I also know what. It's.
I mean, this breeding is like a lot of monies that is being spent to make this thing happen. So that is unfortunately what it costs to breed the Floyd. So anyway, there's one male deposit open, but I only got one dog. I got Autumn.
And is it going to be black?
No. It's not gonna be black. If it's black, then Dr. Lee
Whose
Payne
was
screwed
it?
up. Dr. Lee Payne screwed up. Like, yeah, if you listen to the end of the last episode, you know what the inside joke is, and the amount of people that texted me about that is pretty good. Anyway, so
sponsors,
yes. No, we're not there yet. We're getting close to the sponsors. This is why we don't do too many podcasts together, because we just talk. I finally get to this place that I've been training at. It's IMSA. It's great. I've been training there forever. It was 5 minutes from my old house. Great cover. It's got a big hill. It basically has like a thing that you can run off of that's like a mound. It's awesome. Well, 50 mile an hour winds. I drive out there. I set up my 2 stick men. I set up my 2 wingers at each thing. And on top of this, it's really wet because it's been raining, and my sled doesn't slide very good. So, let alone, I got my e-bike full throttle, which ain't doing crap. I'm pedaling around, and I set up 1 stick man. I drive to the Longbird. I set that one up. I look back. The wingers have blown over the first stick man, and the stick man's like half over. I drive a little bit back, fix that one, go over, set up the third one. I think I spent 40 minutes driving there, setting up, or 45 minutes driving there, setting up the stick man, and it was 3 marks. And it was done in like 6 seconds. Like, it was 6 minutes of running one dog. And I was very happy. She crushed it. It was exactly what I was hoping would happen. I had 2 pinch marks and just a random single that I threw out there. I did like a little pinch double. She did great. I was super excited. Then I got on my bike and I pedaled back out there. I set up 3 blinds, ran those 3 blinds in like a minute and a half, and went, time to pick it all up. So I went and picked it all up and then drove home, and now I'm here. But that's
like my buddy AJ was telling me the other day. He's like, I went out and trained by myself after work. I worked 12 hours, and I went out and I have like 2 dogs, and he sets 8 wingers.
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm
like,
dude,
gosh.
I'd rather shoot myself than set up 8 wingers.
Oh, it's
wingers
hard.
Suck.
Well, and I have 3 different types of wingers, so it's like every time I do it, but they all work really good because of our first sponsor. There, look at that. You see how that rolled in there? Yeah. So I want to thank our first sponsor that we're going to mention today, huntemup.com. And Joe, he has some great retriever products out there. I got some bumpers that work really well. You can get ATBs there. And I got all my wingers supplies to redo all my wingers there for the beginning of the year. Check out huntemup.com. Thank you to Purina Pro Plan for sponsoring this and every episode of the Hunt Test Hobo Podcast. Ray and those guys over there are doing great things for the dog game. I can say it now. They sponsor every dog event that I participate in, because now they are the dog for the Super Retriever Series. So,
and fueling the future Floyd winter puppies.
Yeah, they already are fueling. And those puppies went on their first mark.
They got their first mark.
I went down and trained with Tyler last weekend, and there's 2 people who are getting females out of winter. I said, "Hey, come here. I want to show you something." Like, what? And we threw this little dinky mark. It was like 30 yards. Winter was so excited because I don't train her while she's because she just had a surgery 3 weeks ago, but everything was healed up. I was like, yeah, we're gonna do it. So I ran the mark. I said, your puppies just did their first mark, and they stomped it. Says they're in there somewhere. But anyway, yeah, that was good. You could be like a good assistant podcaster. What are those called? Like your co-host? You can be a good co-host, Tyler.
Assistant to the regional manager.
Assistant to the regional manager. There you go. And yeah. And then last but not least, Retriever Foundations, which is the online training courses that Dan and I have put together. If you're looking for, actually, we're going to talk about some things that I show in my course today. But if you're looking for my course, you can get, or Dan's courses now will be with the Puppy Foundation and the Flushing program. If you use Hunt, that's a different discount. You can probably get some discount at huntemup.com, which I get another mention here. But if you use discount code HOBO, and you can use either 2. I got 2 now. You got to use HOBO, which is 10% off, or you can use HOBO26 for 10% off too. So whatever one you can remember, you can use. That's a dumb joke of why there's 2. And I probably should just say HOBO. Use that discount code, get 10% off any course at retrieverfoundations.com. Whew. We are through all the sponsors now, Tyler Brenner.
I just got to mention about the puppy program real quick, because I have my first group of dogs rolling in that our customers have bought the program and stuck with it. Oh my gosh. It's like they've taught the dog work ethic already. They've maintained a nice retrieve, and these dogs are going through basics like at light speed. So if you're sending your dog to a pro, training it yourself, whatever you might be doing, I really recommend it. I mean, it's made my life easier. The dogs are receiving, the easiest pathway of learning possible with the least amount of pressure. And they're so much more open-minded. It's super inclusive to whatever kind of dog you have, too. Like, I have someone doing it with a Cocker Spaniel right now, and then someone else with a Boykin as well, and I haven't received any of those dogs yet, but I've had a bunch of labs that have been trained with it. And it's a big deal. Really easy to follow, but I'm a little biased. But
well, you're biased, but you don't get anything from it. So
no, I don't.
No, I don't. Your life is easier from it, but
well, that's pretty important to me because, I don't like hanging around in force fetch any longer than I have to. You got to get the job done, obviously, and that's the biggest, piece of the whole pie in the beginning.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting. So I kind of bought a dog back from somebody that bought a puppy from me for the winter's last litter with Stroker. We're gonna co-own it. It's gonna be great. But he didn't do too much with the dog. He did a bunch of socialization, and the dog's 6 months old, and so it's the first time that I've ever trained a dog that didn't go through the puppy program. Because I was doing it. And it's interesting because I'm basically doing a lot of the same things. It's just I'm doing it when the dog's older, and it's like, man, you can get so much more done before the formal training really, quote unquote starts. And it is
you take what your dogs know for granted because
it's crazy.
Like for instance, like when I started training Widow's puppy, like the first step I didn't really think about, that this is the first time that I've raised a puppy of my own and then actually trained it, and I could never left my house, teaching it how to take something out of your hand, like a morsel of food out of your hand. Like as silly as that is, it's something they have to learn, and then once they learn how to take it from your hand wherever you place it, then you teach them to follow it, and there's all these teeny tiny little baby steps. And I get dogs, believe it or not, that don't know how to do that. I get dogs that don't know how to walk on a leash. They've never had a leash.
All they want to do is eat it.
Oh, yes, my favorite. But yeah, I mean, you take all those little things that you did without even thinking about doing it, and then that person didn't actually follow through with any of those things, you get that dog and you're like, oh, you don't know that.
Yeah.
So, long road ahead. It's a learning curve for sure. They're all different.
Yep.
That's what makes it fun, though.
Yeah. I'm having a lot of fun with one dog that we won't talk about on this podcast right now, but I'm learning a lot about how to get a dog that doesn't want to do a lot of things, how to do things. And it's just good learning how to be a better trainer. And we might get into some of that stuff later, but for now, we're going to leave that topic for another day. All right. I don't know if you live in the South. I know you don't live in the South, but if you're listening and you live in the South, some of this stuff might not be exactly applicable because it's warm down there. But I think a lot of the things that we're going to talk about are still important to do, coming out of hunting season. We go to hunting season. And actually, I saw a Facebook video Freddie King posted today of why he was using white bumpers. And I thought it was pretty good. It's definitely something that I do a lot of when I come out of hunting season. Is he talked about how dogs go to hunt, maybe not necessarily like the way that I hunt, which in like bean fields and cornfields. I mean, sometimes we hunt cornfields that have a ton of stubble and stuff, but a lot of times when I go hunting in like Michigan or other places, when I'm hunting in like marshes and stuff, the cover's like super thick, and dogs naturally learn that their nose can help them find a bird better than their eyes, which is an important part of retriever training. But it also is not the best to do when you're trying to run setups and be competitive for hunt tests and things of that nature. And I remember you texted me last night, Tyler. You're like, "Yep, I took Widow hunting, upland hunting twice, and now she runs 80% out there and then sticks her nose down and starts hunting the rest of the way out, trying to find some drag back."
She wasn't just hunting the drag back the other day. She was hunting their footsteps from the gun station to the bird where I had them go pick up a bird because a dog moved on the line or something.
Oh, that's frustrating.
And I was just like, nope, come back here.
Yeah.
No.
It's just like, anyway, the point of the thing is that the dogs come out of hunting season, they can mark and stuff, but a lot of times they run blinds with their nose down. They trust their nose more than they should, and they don't have drag back when they're hunting, when they're going hunting. But when you're training, there's drag back, and dogs have to learn how to deal with that.
They just got a lot of success honoring their nose. And then,
yes. Yeah. So Freddie was talking about why he does which Dan calls in his puppy course white visual aid marking, where the dog looks out there, he sees a white bumper, he keeps his eyes on it, he runs the whole time, no matter how far it could, it could be 300 yards. It doesn't matter. The point is that you kind of have to reset that foundation of mark with your eyes first when you get to an area, then proceed to hunt, which is how you have more success finding birds than just solely relying on your nose. Anyway, that was not really one of the tips, but that's a good tip. When you come out of hunt season, throw some visual aid marking in there, maybe some blinds with some big white poles to help them keep them running with their heads up. Josh talked about that a lot. Josh and I trained together, and he does a lot of tower shoots. Well, those tower shoots, those birds are landing in CRP, set aside, and his dog has learned that his nose knows how to find those birds. And so we've been having to really rewire a dog that, kind of, he's in that transition period. He's on the backside, he's through swim by. He's starting to do some decent finish level blinds. But, you go through a year of hunting like that, picking up, 300 to 400 birds like he has in deep cover.
And then try and tighten up his hunt in the fall area.
Oh, yeah.
I've had a lot of dogs, especially snow goose hunting dogs, that they miss the bird by 3 feet and then they hunt the whole field because they've gotten their success from just doing hot laps around the spread,
Yeah, until they win something.
And that can be tough to make a dog competitive again, for the games we play. But it's all, they're all different. Some dogs come back like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And
Winter's that way. Winter
Yeah.
comes back and she's just like the same dog that I had. I could run a finish test after hunting season with her. But like Rex, there's no way that dog like he like sees a decoy. He's like, it's in the decoys. Like every bird is in the decoys.
Well, yep, and they're all different, But I've struggled with tightening up dogs' hunts and on stuff like that. But I like to go back to the visual aid stuff. And then this time of the year, everyone's shooting snow geese like crazy. Nobody wants to clean them all. Mm-hmm. So I call everyone I know that's shooting them. All right, bring me every Rossi you shoot. Mm-hmm. And this time of the year, and then leading up to the spring grand, I'll throw Rossies a lot. On my big birds that are hard to see against a really bad background. Because I'm already getting into that stuff where I'm like prepping for what's about to come. Mm-hmm. So I'm throwing those birds with a bad background, and then for my pups, throwing them in wide open field, big white belly up goose laying out there that is still small enough that it's easy for a young dog to carry, Mm-hmm. So they're a pretty versatile tool.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I have a few things that I like to do when it comes to kind of resetting my dogs after hunting season. And for me up north, I'm waiting for Sharon to get back. There's a part of that, like I train probably 75% of the time. I'm training at her grounds in the summer. And so I have to be creative, and I have to be the hobo again, and have to go around to a lot of these places and train. But the best place that I train at is the hayfield that Josh leases. And it's really nice because we can run 400 yards. It's got some hills and stuff. But the hayfield at this time of year is basically nothing. I mean, it's a parking lot. It's a parking lot, but it's got all these beautiful, it's got hills and things, and there's some trees that are in it too. So like you can hide things and hide guns, but the success rate can be so high for dogs. So with a finished level dog, what I love to do at this time of year is I have 15 or so different marking concepts that I like to go through every year with a dog. And I have a whole process that I do to teach a dog who's doing relatively good multiples. So this isn't something that I do with a seasoned dog. This is something that I do with a dog that's running finished setups, like grand level setups, is I have a process that I go through to teach them all these different marking setups. And that is what Josh and I really have been spending a lot of time doing. Is we focused almost a week and a half just on one version of a hip pocket. And we left our winger set up there, and we would throw it as singles a couple times. And if you want to check out that I go into much more in-depth process in this in my Amateur's Guide to Hunt Test Success on the Retriever Foundations. So if you're looking you want to go through this process, I can explain it here, but it's easier. You can actually see the marks and such on Retriever Foundations. But I teach that single concept, and I work through all 15 of those. For like a dog that like Winter, I still go through it once a year, and I check myself. I was like, does she understand these cues? Does she understand this picture? Because, we talk about this all the time, dogs seeing pictures. So I really love to use this time when I have like factorless fields in a sense, but they can see all those marks. I'm like, all right, this hide configuration, whether it's stickmen or it's, HRCH hides, or HRC hides and things like that. I set all that up, and I make sure that they're not flaring guns. I make sure that they're marking with their eyes, because at this point, like, there's a white bumper out there typically. Like, you could, at least for the beginning part of this, like, you can see it the whole way. And I really make sure that they're doing all the fundamental marking things that I want to do. And with Autumn, she's running at a finished level. So now, rather than just setting up, concepts like a single one-off concept, I'm really teaching her, all right, we're going to do hip pockets right now. All right, we're going to work on the inline triple next week. We're going to work on pinch marks. We're going to work on all these, JP triples, all those things we're going to work through in a sequence so that I know she's seen all these things. And when she walks up in a test and it's in an organic situation, like, okay, she knows what, she should know which side of the gun to stay on. Like, if I point you to this side, you stay on this side. all those things, I really, really try to focus on now because I don't have any water, and it's a perfect time to really do that. And then one of the first things I'm going to do coming late March, early April, when we start to be able to get in the water, is I'm going to take all those concepts that I worked on land, and I'm going to make sure that the same thing is right on water. What other things do you do kind of leading, right after hunting season before, the heat of the hunt test season starts?
Yeah. So I am also coming right out of HRC upland tests. So a lot of my dogs have just ran 2 different quad upland tests, and I was training pretty intensely before the first one. And then after that first test, I kind of lay off of it because I think you can definitely overtrain for upland. And if you're not careful, you can create, some issues in regards to that, because they just went to a test. They just got birds that flushed out of a drop box. So then they associate the drop box with a flush, and, you can run into dogs that point the box, not necessarily because they're not engaging out of fear. They're just trying to catch the bird. Mm-hmm. So there's a little bit of trickery involved, and I'm trying to trick the dog into wanting to engage every time hard, because they learn that if they do pause, the likelihood of catching the bird, because they pause, they try to locate it with their eyes after they've scented it, and then they try to bust in. Long story short, I try not to train a bunch between the tests, and then right before the next test, I'll train a couple times and then go do it. So I just had a Horicon upland test, and coming off of that, I definitely went into the conceptual marking stuff like what you just said. Then we got a couple days of warm weather. So when I did get those little glimpse days of warm water or warm weather, and the water was tolerable, and it was 75, almost 80,
I know, that was crazy. It was beautiful. Yeah. I did some water for 2 days too. It was great.
I got 5 days of water in, but
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a little further south than you, but that being said, the first thing I did was go over the swim by pond and just throw corner cheats, and just by hand. I'm just whipping bumpers across the corner of the pond. Go get it. It's fun. We had a good time. Me and every dog just went out. We had a little moment, just fun bumpers.
Hug? Did you hug?
We did.
Did you give some kisses? You kiss them? Yeah. That's nice. Hopefully it's on the top of their head and not their lips.
Yeah. Corner cheats.
He didn't deny it. Did you guys catch that? He did not deny it.
Yeah. Corner cheats, the more advance the dog, the tougher I would make them. And a lot of the reason I'm doing the corner cheat is, I want the dog to go straight, but most importantly, I want him to make a mistake, and I can see if I still got a cast by. Mm-hmm. That's really what I'm looking for. Is my tool still there, and how prominent is it, and are they going to respect it? I didn't really have any problems this year revisiting. The next day that I had water, I did similar ideology, but with a remote thrower with a boom gun, just to bring up the level of intensity in the dog and to see if they make mistakes based on excitement. Good outcome. But, I kind of prepped them to be successful, because I went out there and just went back to our basics of de-cheating, showed them how to do it right again, and just kind of got, just wipe the dust off and let them have fun at the same time. So I definitely revisited that. They like it, a bunch of short fun retrieves, mix it up with fun retrieves in between. It's very therapeutic for them, I think, and not really super confrontational either. So, definitely easing back into the water is something that should be talked about more. Mm-hmm. Not just for us Northerners that don't have water 24/7, Yeah. They get so used to just flying around on land all the time. You're like, all right, swim down the shore. And they're like, but it's right there.
Your impressions of dogs are perfect. I love them.
That was a golden, obviously.
That's a golden. We can't really make fun of golden since, based on the DU, the lab lost. So, who are we going for? Boykins, Goldens? We can't be going for a GSP. We're a retriever podcast. Or flat coats. I can't believe that's the final four. The flat coat, Boykins, it.
I'm not going to talk, but Yeah. No, I am. I personally have never seen a flat coated that hunts.
I guess I've seen some. I've seen some at trials, but I've never seen one actually hunt.
No, I know, but I know those dogs don't hunt.
Yeah,
the ones that I have seen at trials and master tests.
Yeah, I know Jobman trained a really good one, didn't he? I'm pretty sure Jobman. I don't know if it hunted, but it was really good at the grand.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, I think it passed the grand or got a grand title or something.
I think it had a grand title. I think it was a brown one. Don't quote me on that.
I don't know anything about. I just know that I've heard him say it on a podcast once.
But yeah, you're telling me the DU thing, the lab, whatever.
That's a bunch of garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, they are the two most popular. They are the two most popular dogs, but I think that they know that they'll get more engagement by just dropping the lab. What the heck, man? All of us are complaining.
I have a German short-haired pointer in the kennel for ducks only right now.
Is that a good choice? It can be. I know whiskey was pretty good. Anyhow.
Yeah, I mean, what it boils down to is the dog's going to have to swim. The dog's never swam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A duck dog that doesn't swim is not a very well-rounded duck dog.
And don't get me wrong. I'm sure that there are a ton of good GSPs out there that will be great for duck hunting. And I know of a few that I've seen duck hunting and stuff. I remember I ran into a vet at a public land. It was not. I think it was Rice Lake in north of Banner there. Yeah. He was a vet, and it was like he was a vet, and we were hunting in like 12 degrees, and he brought his GSP out there, and he's like, it'll be fine. I was like, dude, that's some serious stuff right there.
It was probably a true German short.
It must have been.
Not one of these Americanized ones, because the true Deutsch Kershaw German Shorthair is a beast. It's the American trial dog.
Mm.
You know, like a field trial dog version of a German Shorthair. I mean, it's the hammer.
I mean, I didn't see the dog hunt, but he, okay, we got way off topic about the DU thing. Anyway, the lab wins in my book. We'll see what happens.
Yes.
I don't have any problem with anybody else's, whatever you want to do. But I just
dog's a good dog.
A good dog is a good dog, but I just can't believe that the lab lost to the short hair in a DU post. Like that, this doesn't compute with me.
You're the marketing genius. That's
it's
right
controversy.
Up your alley.
They need controversy. If they get controversy, all the lab guys are going to be talking about it, and all the GSP guys are like, look at us.
And we are. We're
talking about it.
Right now.
Don't give into it. Stop talking about it.
They got us.
All right. The other thing that I love to do, and it is painful, and I've talked about this on the podcast before. A lot of pros don't do this, but I do like a 7-day land tune-up drill. Like, I love it. And that's why I stole those, those pipes from Green Acres, because I was like, we're setting these suckers up. I haven't been able to do it yet because the field we're going to do it in is.
Are you going to cut them in half?
No, I'm going to leave them that.
No?
I'm going to leave them that tall. They're only like.
Aren't they like?
No, they're not
pretty
that
tall.
No, I didn't take. I took the ones that were like, I don't know, maybe 13, 14 inches. Like dogs can totally jump over them. You guys had some there that were like
that's a mega.
They were like 30 inches or something. I was like, dude, that thing.
We could get the dogs to run through the pipe.
Through the pipe, yeah, for a no drill. Well, that's like a go drill. I don't know what you call that. Like go through the pipe. You got no where you go this way, and a go is do that. We'll have to ask the agility.
You could teach a dog to differentiate both of those, and then you'd really have an animal.
That's what the next SRS is going to be. They're going to do a dog leg. They're going to try to make an over through the pipe.
Hey, well, if they ever do a dog leg to the top of a hay bale and then cast off, I'm winning the sun.
You're winning it, yeah.
I'm winning it because I can point Widow at anything and say, get up, and that dog will hop up on top of it.
It kind of amazes me that she's never confused with, like, they go pick up a bird and get up. Like, I just, when you were teaching her all that stuff, I thought for sure. So, yeah, Tyler's right. He says get up to that dog. She looks for the nearest hay bale and just jumps on top of it.
Oh, it doesn't even have to be a bale.
I know, but
I said it the other day, and she jumped on a picnic table like 200 yards away across the yard.
Oh, she has been to that that picnic table
she
before.
Knows that picnic table, yeah. But you've seen it where like it's a place she's never been.
Yeah.
And she will do it every time.
Yeah.
insane.
Well, my
I
point
need to
is
teach
like,
her puppy to do it.
how does she? Yeah, then you can have two of them up there. My question is like, how does she like sometimes like I can't find the bird? Oh, I'm gonna just get up here, and she jumps up on top of a hay bale like, look, I did a trick.
Well, she's never gotten a bird for going on top of anything.
That's true. Like that's an
She's
important
only
point.
gotten treats.
She's like, give me the treat. I couldn't find the bird. Where's my
Chicken.
treat? Where's my chicken?
Give me the chicken.
Give me the chicken. Anyhow, yeah. So back to tune-up drills. That was how we got onto that. It is like one of the best times to do it. You're not in a rush. You just had a dog that hunted with its nose forever, and you can just keep working, and going through all those fundamental things that you need to make sure you have right. For me, this time is like to verify, like you were doing with swim by. Verify that everything that you put into that dog before you started hunting is there, and if it's not, you can attack that specific problem.
Yeah. I'm doing a lot of I find myself doing a lot of poison birds in drills now. Like this time of the year. Like I'm running our four pole drill, and doing a poison bird involved with that, and I basically either put a hide right in the center of the drill or all around it, like on either side. And sometimes I'm throwing a multiple, sometimes I'll pull them off of that mark and put them on the other mark, and then pick one of those up and then run a line to the back pile, one of the back piles. And then, it's just a super simplified version of, yep, there's birds on the ground. You're not going there, and that's okay.
Yep.
Just get out there and do it. And there's zero pressure involved. The dog's getting success because they know how to get success, because they've ran that drill hundreds of times.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty healthy. I've got two developing dogs that are basically nearing the end of the transition in total. I got them all through every water drill and cheating singles last summer. And then basically got all of my groundwork done, and then a little bit of prep or a little bit of education after the groundwork. And then it got cold on us. They both went hunting. And now I'm back into the groove of everything. And, now I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to teach a lot of poison birds now and just teach you to do with it. I see their memory improving. I see their handling improving. I think it's been super beneficial. And like I said, I'm in that drill format. They've ran that drill hundreds of times. They know how to be successful. Now I'm just adding something new to them. And for my older dogs, it's a reminder, and it's just super clean, and you pattern a lot of success that way. Going out and running a field setup every day is really not what dogs need typically.
Especially in that transition time.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in the transition time.
If you just say, the dog doesn't like doing that drill, I don't really want to do that anymore. You just gave in,
Yeah.
You can make them fall in love with it through the reps and teach them that it's okay to be successful. And typically when someone or something, such as a dog, are successful at something repetitively, they're going to learn to like it.
Yep.
Or they'll fall in love with it.
Yep.
And it can be a beneficial tool to developing your dog and you and your dog's communication. That's something I'm really working on right now. The communication. If you had to just break it down into one phrase.
Yep. That's why the concepts are important, and the concept marking things we talked about. The tune-up drill. It really is all about communication. And going along with what you said is I do a ton of drills at this time, mostly because I have enough room at my house that I can do it. So I've been doing a lot of gunswinging drills with Autumn. Like that's been a big thing that I've been doing is just like, okay, you've been a field trial dog almost your whole life now. Yeah. We're going to start really incorporating some of that more HRC stuff. Speaking of that, like hearing Ron talk about it, and I know you do it now, but I run a lot more field trial long looking marks with stickmen, and then having HRC hides and that are shorter, and having like shooting all of it with the gun, and even if those like a dog can learn pretty fast, in my opinion, how to follow. To look at the guns with you standing over it and just doing, what you do at a field trial. It takes a lot more work for the dog to truly follow a gun to those hides. And so I've been doing a lot more of that, knowing that this is going to take time for Autumn to figure out. So I have a drill set up, a gun swinging drill that I'm trying to do at least 2 to 3 times a week right now, is just go out over lunch and do this specific thing that is going to be really painful to try to do right before her first finish test, or, things like that, just because I'm training different, I don't think about doing it as much. Having that drill set up and doing that drill. The other thing I did a ton of work on is I noticed really early through a lot of the conceptual marks that I was doing that she did not want to run close to a short gun. It wasn't bad when there's a stick man out there, but when there was an actual human being sitting in a chair, it changed the picture. So what I've been doing is having my kids go out with an iPad and just sit in the chair, and I just set up a drill. And I ordered them on Amazon a white shirt, and they sit there with a white shirt in my backyard on the iPad, and I run a 4-pole drill right past them. And and I learned this from Lyle Steinman is I put the first mark that the dog picks up in that training scenario when you're trying to work on this is 5 yards in front of the gunner. Yep. It's just one bumper. So they get a reward right in front of the gunner's feet. Now, it's not at the gunner because that's something that you don't want them to teach, is that there's a bird at the gunner. But to their visual perspective, it's in line. It's in line with that gun. And I've seen a dramatic improvement on just how much more comfortable she is, and it's helped a lot of the other harder stuff that we're trying to work on with concept marks. But it's amazing just having somebody sit there in a chair, how valuable that is. I remember when I trained Rex, my father-in-law lived about 5 minutes from this field that I had set up where I had just left all my stuff out and was like, nobody ever comes here. It'll be all right. And nobody ever did, except for 2 years later, I found a no trespassing sign there. But it was well after I was done using it and moved. But anyway, I would call Larry after dinner. It'd be at 7 o'clock. Like, hey, Larry, can you come sit in the chair? He would drive over with a book and just sit there in part of my pattern blind field. He'd read his book while I ran 2 or 3 dogs. It wasn't 2 or 3. It was just Winter and Rex at the time. And
I can just picture him just relaxing, reading.
He'd just sit there and read his book.
No, here,
get in here. No, there was none of that. I was working through it. But yeah, like, it was great. Like, it's amazing the value of that. So like, if you need your wife to sit in that chair, if you're doing field trials or even hunt tests, you need to do this. You just need to have a guy, if you're going to only do hunt test, have the person sitting behind the hide and casting close to that, man. It can really bite you in the butt if you're not good at that.
Having somebody driving around just throwing singles is nothing compared to having 3 gunners in the field.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I created a lot of right-handed suction in a inline triple setup that I was running as singles the other day.
Okay. This isn't the setup we ran with that road. You're talking about a different one?
Different one.
Okay.
And I just had somebody driving around throwing these birds, and I didn't even put stickmen out. I didn't really want it because they were hard, and I had a 30-something mile an hour crosswind pushing them into the right. I mean, it was the factors made it tough. It didn't need more. I wasn't looking to kick everyone's butt. I just wanted them to go out there and pick them up. But they weren't easy. Short bird was left to right at like 150. Middle bird's left to right as a hip pocket. Probably 170, 180. So it's not really that far away from the first mark, but there's a lot of distance between the dog and bird at the line. But these marks are very tight to each other. So a lot of dogs on that bird would like wrap behind the first gun station to the downwind side and get lost or return to the old fall. It's a great setup. But like I saw a lot out of my dogs like that can improve. And that was just with somebody driving around. I was like, guys, like, you don't understand. If we had someone at every gun station here, this would have been really ugly.
Really ugly. Yeah.
If that got them with just someone driving around and tossing them, they would have been not in good shape if I had someone sitting at every gun station. And
yeah. And when we say gun station, we're just saying that. I mean, but most of the time, half of our marks are winger hides from a natural environment. And then
I was in the retriever field, so we have basically like cut cedar trees laying everywhere.
He's got the HRC grand piles of stuff everywhere. And
that I can hook a toe strap to and drag around.
That's genius, man. Like when I saw what you guys did with that, they basically just piled a bunch of brush like you would burn, but then just wrapped cable around it, and then they can just drag it to a different spot, and there's a hide there, and it's great. So
that's what I spend part of my day doing today is moving stuff around, just give it a new look, and kind of prepping for the Spring Grand group. I want to have a bunch of cool spots to run when everyone's here.
Is Clark and everybody coming back? Is that the plan?
That's the rough plan, yeah.
Rough plan. Cool. Well, good for you guys. I won't be there because I won't have a dog that can run it. But
you can still come.
I'm going to. Are you kidding me? We're going to do some podcasting. We'll do some podcasting.
Yeah.
I'll run Autumn on all this stuff and then watch her not be able to pick up the 10-yard bird. It'll be great. That's what happened last time. Remember that in Paducah? I was like, Jake, watch my dog. She's awesome, which I never say.
Famous last words.
I never say that, but I was so confident she was going to crush this.
Oh.
And the bird that, like the hard bird that everybody else was struggling with as a memory bird.
Was this the first day that we were just talking about? Like,
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I can't remember where it was, but it was in that little pond that was the last setup we did down there. And we had that bird that kind of...
Oh, I was throwing it.
Yeah. So you threw it, but then we had like a winger that was launching a bird that literally landed a splashing bird. It couldn't have been like, 6 yards from the line?
Oh, that bird saved the Grand for whiskey.
Did it? Yeah.
In training. That was it. Well...
Anyway, Autumn couldn't do it. Yeah. It was 6 yards right in front of us. And she was like, there's no way I'm supposed to pick up this bird. It's right here. It's too close. And she just started to swim to the end of the other pond. I'm like, what are you doing? And then she picked up the hard bird. But like, I was like, okay, we're going to do way more of that. Like that brings
contrary.
up
that was a contrary mark.
To her, it was very contrary. The thing that I remember more now that I'm doing all this hobo training a lot, waiting for Sharon to get back, is the value of being in different places. Like,
oh yeah,
I mean,
and you got to throw everything. Yeah. Think about what you just said. You could not pick up a 6-yard bird.
It was crazy, dude. I blew my mind when she couldn't do that.
Because if you don't practice it, sometimes,
and that's why
they're gonna lose that, and that's why I made myself throw a bunch of dinks in cover the other day with wing clip ducks, because I'm like, and I put the wind in my face. To be honest, just go ahead, hunt.
Yep.
Do hunting dog stuff.
Yep.
But back to that left-hand corner bird in training. What was that, the day before the Grand or 2 days before? It was our last training.
It was our last training day. I don't remember what it was, but yeah.
I threw that for whiskey, and every once in a while, he'll get a wild hair and lie to me. Mm-hmm. And I stood up and I knowed him off of it. I think I ran through a double, and I knowed him off of the 6-yard bird and ran the blind, and he looked right out there at the blind and just full on lied to me.
He was going for that short bird.
that correction I got made him pass a Grand. I swear on my life.
Yeah.
Like that was the one I needed. And it was the last setup of the whole pre-training. And I'm like, that was it.
Yep.
And he went on to pass again. And that I will never forget that forever. Because I was just like, that was that important, and I could feel that in the moment, and it ended up being true.
Oh,
and got lucky. You got to get lucky, too.
That Grand is where I really learned. I didn't learn too much with Winter, but I learned with Autumn doing all the pre-Grand setups, that how hard it is to get a dog to be able to do both games at that age.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm bringing her up as a field trial dog. The stuff that she was able to do at distance was, like, unbelievable. But trying to get her to do little things was, like, impossible. It felt impossible.
I think hunting those dogs is very important as well. It just gives them outside experience. You can't just like take them in and out of the box every day and just go choo 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 and expect them to get the whole picture. Like take a lot of special attention when you're trying to build a dog that plays every venue. I'm trying to build Boomer to be the dog like that right now, and he loves to go big, but I also like forced myself to want to hunt him this year, and it was super beneficial for him. It made him more of a 3-dimensional thinker instead of a 1-dimensional thinker.
Yeah.
He looks at everything from every perspective now, not just one.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Oh, it makes total sense. And that goes back to what I was saying about trying to train as many places and then with as many people as you can. I've been just calling
it's all experience.
Oh man, Well, you need that. You need to train with other folks so that you see the holes in your program. Because like every time I go to train with somebody new, I'm like, well, now they ask me to set stuff up, and which I'm fine with doing like once or twice, But I want them to set up because that's what I'm driving there for. Honestly, it's like I want to train on your grounds, and I want to do what you're doing. Like, my dog is prepared to learn anything I need to teach them at this point.
Oh yeah. That's like
but we need to learn that stuff. We need to see what we don't have.
I set that right hand bird when you were down there.
Yep.
And AJ just murdered that thing over and over, and that thing was eating my lunch.
He made us look like noobs, dude. It was rough. He's gonna have a big.
His dogs are nice.
He's gonna have a big head next time he sees us. He's like, oh,
that's okay.
He's like, I don't know if I can. He's gonna be like, I don't know if I can throw for the hobos' dogs anymore. But
he deserves it. His dogs look good.
Mm-hmm. They did. I was jealous. Honestly, dude, that was one of the first times I've ever been jealous of a young dog that wasn't mine. I was like, that's really good. That's a great dog. His little yellow girl is nice, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That dog's really good.
I'm going to make him, not this weekend, but next weekend, I'm going to make him make the setup.
Yeah. Yeah. Is he coming down quite a bit now?
He'll probably be here every weekend.
Nice. So how far is he from you?
Hour and 40.
Okay, so he's about the same as me. Yeah.
But I'm going to do a day trip over. He's got some good places to run. I'm going to go over there one time.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. If it's on the weekend, I would go.
Yeah, I'll probably do it on the weekend.
Before April.
We can get the whole crew together.
Yeah. I will say, I cleaned the griddle, and I'm all ready. So let's do it. I'm ready to make some food.
Perfect.
I've been practicing my chicken thigh sandwiches. It's going to be good. That's like my favorite new thing to like cook on the training day because it's so quick and easy and it tastes good.
Oh, yeah.
With the pepper jack cheese. That's the way to do it.
And it's a little cheaper than buying beef.
Dude, it's way cheaper than that. And it doesn't take like all day to smoke a pork shoulder or ribs or whatever.
Really, really good.
Yeah. Dude, Jake Stinson, he was like, dude, these are the best ribs I've ever had in my life. Like, not lying to you. This is it. This is the best. I'm like, okay. He's hilarious. I love that guy.
I'm looking forward to training, man. I miss all them guys.
Oh, man, he's funny.
I've just been freezing my butt off out in the freaking middle of nowhere all winter. I get all these Snapchats from Jake. He's like running in the water for the past however many months. I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore.
What was it that he sent you? Like, oh, he sent you a video. He sent you a message. What do you do with dogs in snow or something? What did he tell you?
Yeah, like he got snow one time. Like, do you train in the snow? I'm like, no, I don't train in the snow. I just let the dog sit in the kennel for like 3.5 months.
Honestly, you can teach a dog how to really mark with their eyes in the snow, man.
Some of my best marking dogs I've ever produced, I swear on this, throwing dead roosters in the snow. And the tail just sticks up like a freaking ribbon. That's
the way to do it, man. I'm telling you.
Man. I had a chocolate that could outmark any dog because I had him at the right time and we had that kind of snow for a while. And I've witnessed that. But I've also witnessed where you get a young dog that just goes through the gun dog program.
Mm-hmm.
And about that time, and they do not know how to hit the fall and then put on a hunt
and how to stay there.
Pinned everything.
Yeah, if you do too much visual aid marks, they don't know how to go to the area and then stay there. And that's actually a great topic to really briefly talk about. Is it's
easy to do this time of the year with all the short grass.
Yeah,
and then
for sure.
You need to balance it.
Yeah, the balancing of marking is like we could spend forever talking about individual situations, but that's one of the reasons I really like to throw for my own dogs. Like I was telling you yesterday, I was throwing this mark for Autumn. Like I was riding on the e-bike, sending her from the place board, doing all that like I do all the time. And I was throwing birds off of like a 30-foot dirt pile that was in this random like set-aside garbage field in the Tuffa Hospital. I was throwing this bird, but I was almost throwing it straight in at her. And so it was landing 40 yards in front of me, and I'm up on top of this hill. I've never thrown this mark. And it's like one of those marks that they'll throw, and if the wind's right, 90% of dogs would never pick up because they just never have seen this. And so I was throwing this mark, And I could just tell she was looking at me like all the time, like, well, and so she would hunt where she thought, in or deep or, but she was staying on the right side of the gun, but she was not like hunting the spot of the bird. Right. And you can't really blame the dog, but I was like, okay, I'm going to just drive out in the middle of this field. And I threw a bird and I just laid down, and she's like, I have no idea what to do right now. Like, I just completely disappeared. And that was when I realized, I'm like, oh, this dog is like totally marking off me and not off of where the bird is. Anyway, that was actually sidetracked. It was just funny because I've never done that before. I was just like, I'm just going to see what happens if I lay down.
Well, when I trained with Charlie Hines at one time, he had his bird boy lay down, cover up with a ghillie, and the dog basically had to run right across his back because it was a straight back throw.
Really? I got hit by a dog once in a ghillie blanket like that. Unreal. That's crazy.
And the dogs are just.
Did I ever tell you that story? Or when I was throwing, I was a retired bird in the AM.
In a trial
in the AM. And there was some cattails that, so I would step out, I would throw this angleback bird out off the cattails, and I would go and I'd sit in a chair with a ghillie blanket over me.
Yeah.
And they sent this male dog. He ended up, I think he won the trial. But the dog hit the cover or hit the tulies, and I heard him coming. I heard it, and I heard him, and I'm like, oh no. And my back is turned to the dog, and this dog just boom hits me. I go flying forward, and he looks at me like, what the frick is happening? Like, this dog had this moment of what the frick happened? And then he looked around and he just walked over and picked up the bird.
Oh, located the gun.
And he just walked over, picked up the bird, went back, and then picked up the long retired. I was like a middle retired. And he went and he picked it up and he freaking won. I was like, how did the heck did that? My neck hurt for a while though. I was like, ah!
Was that dog named Rocket and it just took you out?
I don't know, man. But that was a moment of I'm going to die. I had a moment of he's going to take my head off. Anyhow, the dog won the trial. So congrats to him. And then I think Vince had that happen to him. He was a retired gun. And he lost 2 teeth because something like that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and I won't say who, but where the trial was hosted, and he paid for the dental for Vince. Be careful when you're throwing birds at trials, guys. It's dangerous.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Anyway.
It's a good life experience.
Yeah, tell me about it. Okay, back to visual aid marking or not. If the dog the dog runs to an area, you've done a bunch of visual aid marking, and the dog doesn't establish a hunt and just kind of keeps going forever, they just kind of leave the county. That's normally a good time to say
they're 100% trustworthy on their eyes
exactly
only at that point, and they just think they're going to run into it, and it'll be a flaming ball of fire sitting on the ground waiting for them to quickly grab it.
And so what I do to work on that when I see that happening too much is I go to a place where the dog, it's either the dog's at an elevated position or the bird's landing is at an elevated position to where they have a clear understanding of where that bird should be. So I don't do it on a very plain, a flat plane, where it's hard to really see if the bird was angled back or angled in or any of that. I try to get to a point where it's very clear so I can hold the dog accountable to this is the specific spot of where that bird is. That's where you need to go, and that's where you need to start hunting.
And you can break it down even further to be light to medium cover with a white object, so if they get in the near vicinity, they can still appear, and then taper off of that into more of a nose ordeal.
Yep.
Where you use a less visible object and heavier cover.
And what I tend to do is I try to, if I'm trying to teach a concept, I try to make it somewhat of a visual aid situation. But as soon as I feel like they understand the concept, I'm trying to almost always throw a bird that they can see, but when it's on the ground, they can't just stumble on it. They have to work it out. So, well, Tyler, we've been rolling for a while. You're yawning. You're ready to go to sleep because you're a dog trainer and wake up early. So unlike us amateurs, they can train whatever the heck we want most of the time. I know you got to go to bed. So want to thank our. Oh, I do want to give a free shout out to Avery. All right, I've been meaning to do this, and I don't want to forget, and you just reminded me of it. I had a problem with an Avery product. I won't say which product it was, and it was the best customer service I've ever experienced. I bought this actually from another vendor. I bought the product from another vendor, not from Avery Direct, but it's an Avery product. They sent them to me, and every one of them had a defect that I bought, and I used it, and it was just like clearly defective. I took a picture and I sent them through their contact form on their website. They said, "Hey, sorry that you're having the problem. What's your address?" And they sent me 3 more of the product than I had, and it was just super cool. So I don't think they know that I have a podcast or anything. So I just wanted to give them some free props for how cool it was that Avery just took care of a customer that, it was just great. I loved it. And, I just appreciate it. So I want to make sure I give them a little shout out. So to our other sponsors, to the Retriever Foundations, we talked a bunch about things that I like to do at the beginning of the year, and I think a decent chunk of these are in my course if you wanted to get more detail. So check out the Amateur's Guide to Hunt Test Success. Use the discount code HOBO to get 10% off my course. And also, if you're looking for a puppy or the Upland course, Dan's got those, and you can also use the discount code HOBO and get 10% off. Thank you to Purina Pro Plan for sponsoring this podcast and fueling all of my good old dogs, and most of the dogs that Tyler runs. They feed a good old Purina Pro Plan over at Gundog Success. So check it out; it's great dog food, and they also take care of a lot of the games that we play, and we really, really appreciate that. And to huntemup.com, if you're looking for some great retriever supplies or a lot of hunting supplies, he's got things from trail cams. Like he's got stuff, man. That guy's got everything. So if you're looking for some good products over there, I bought some of his bumpers, and they're great, man. I got a bag of them, and I use them all the time to train all these puppies. So check out Hunt Them Up. Gosh, I can't say it. HuntEmUp.com. If I could talk, we would get through this episode way faster. So Tyler Brenner, oh man, thanks for joining me, and I hope you guys can't hear the squeak.
Thanks for having me.
Could you hear the squeaky chair in the end of this? No.
Not till you mentioned it.
Well,
I'm a dog trainer, so I'm half deaf.
Tweet! That's all you can hear now.
The dog trainer vocabulary involves what, and back.
And occasionally
I
the
should
right
name my next dog,
What'd you say? Yeah.
What?
Or I don't know. There's some good names out there.
I got a new dog coming to name, so I got to think of something.
Yeah. Sharon's, she had Boom Boom Pow. I thought that was pretty good. Oh, no, it was Gahunk, Pow.
Wait.
That was the registered name. It was Gahunk.
I was like, 3 different dogs?
No, it was Gahunk, Pow. And the dog's name was Pow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice one.
I got to think of something fancy. I can't have a regular name dog. That's boring.
I like Pow. I think Pow's pretty cool. If I ever have a male dog again, which I probably never will, but if I did, I'd name him Pow. Pow! Go get him, Pow! Pow wow! No?
Oh, yeah. You could do all sorts of little funny names with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to figure out a registered name for X.
X. X. What did you choose?
I have a lot of options.
I don't want to know in public here. All right. So, thanks, man. It was fun. Come on, you can say thanks. Or good.
I guess.
Yes.
You want me to say you're welcome?
I don't know.
Good night.
I'm going to edit this out. See ya.